Hello and welcome to e-GMAT. We will solve question number 7 of OG Verbal Second Edition by using e-GMAT 3-step process. In the first step, we will understand the meaning of the sentence. In the second, we will evaluate the errors in the sentence, and finally, we will review all the answer choices to get to the correct answer. So let's begin. From the earlier days of the tribe, kinship determined the way in which the Ojibwa society organized its labor, provided access to its resources, and defined rights and obligations involved in the distribution and consumption of those resources. Okay, so this sentence presents a fact about the tribe that existed in the past. It says that relationship decided the way in which the Ojibwa society did three things: organized its labor, provided access to its resources, and defined rights and obligations involved in the distribution and consumption of those resources. Okay, now let us evaluate the errors in the sentence by splitting it into its smaller clauses. So here goes our first clause. From the earlier days of the tribe, kinship determined the way in which. Now in this clause, kinship is the subject and determined is the verb. Presence of in which tells us that we have another clause here that reads, the Ojibwa society organized its labor, provided access to its resources, and defined rights and obligations involved in the distribution and consumption of those resources. Okay, in clause 2, the subject is the Ojibwa society and it has three verbs: organized, provided, and defined, and all these three verbs agree in number with the Ojibwa society. So we do not have any subject verb pair error here. Also, all these verbs are written in simple past tense, talking about the events that took place in the past, so we do not have any verb tense error here. Pronoun those clearly refers to the noun resources, so no pronoun error also. Modifier involved in the distribution and consumption of those resources clearly refers to rights and obligations, which is correct, so we do not have any modifier error here. Organized, provided, and defined are logically as well as grammatically parallel to each other, so we do not have any parallelism issue in the sentence. We do not have any idiom in use here, and the meaning of the sentence is also very clear from the way the sentence has been written. So we do not have any errors in this sentence, but we will still run the POE and review other answer choices to see if we have anything better in there. Okay, so choice A seems to be the correct answer as we just discussed now. Let us take a look at choice B. Here, defining is not parallel to organized and provided, and is missing before defining. Now, in a list of parallelism, conjunction should be present before the last item to indicate that the following item is the last one in the list. So, this missing and is a problem here. So, choice B is not the correct answer. In choice C, we see that firstly, as is ambiguous because as has two functions. It either states a reason or it gives a meaning in terms of comparison. Say in the sentence 1, Sam can't attend the concert as he is sick. Here, as is actually functioning like because, giving the reason why Sam can't attend the concert. Now in the second sentence, Sam walks exactly as his father does. Here it is actually comparing the way Sam walks and his father walks, and it's saying that it's very similar to the way Sam's father walks. So these are the two main functions of as. Now they again, as we said, is very ambiguous because we do not know whether it refers to resources or it refers to rights and obligations. So together this phrase as they were is pretty ambiguous. We do not know what it's trying to tell us. Is it saying that society defined rights because some things were in the distribution of something, or is it trying to say society defined rights in the same way as something were involved, which is pretty illogical. Okay, so this phrase does not make sense in this choice. Also, pronoun it is very unclear. Now grammatically there is only one antecedent for it, which is society, but logically from the meaning of the sentence we know that it should refer to resources. So choice D is certainly not the correct answer. In choice D, we see that whose rights and obligations illogically refers to resources. So choice D is not the correct answer. Now, in choice E, we see that this entire choice has been written in a very awkward manner. Firstly, it breaks the intended parallelism wherein society has three verbs: organized, provided, and defined. Secondly, it is not clear what is the function of this choice. The construction appears to be noun plus noun modifier, but logically it cannot be a modifier. The last item in the list should actually be an independent function performed by Ojiva society. But this is not the case in here. And also, if this choice has to be a clause, it cannot be so because it is neither connected properly to the rest of the sentence nor it has a main verb. So choice E has these multiple problems for which it cannot be the correct answer. So as we discussed before, choice A is the correct answer for this subject, for this sentence. And now let us take a look at the takeaway messages. We must be able to identify the correct list in questions pertaining to parallelism, and all the entities in the list must be grammatically as well as logically parallel to each other, and we must make sure that every pronoun in the sentence should have a clear noun antecedent. Alright, and the concepts tested in this sentence have been covered in parallelism, ID and identify and correct, parallelism helpful tips, pronouns, and sentence structure 1 and 2.